Martin Lawrence and Will Smith return to action as Marcus Barnett and Mike Lowry and team up again with directors Adil and Bilal for a fourth blockbuster entry in the Bad Boys franchise. And we're going to talk about it after you look at this. David Zaslav, eat your heart out. Hello again, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to another edition of Mikey Lito's Matinee, where I, Mikey Lito, each week try and give you one average viewer's opinion of a major motion picture. This week, the picture is the fourth entry in the Bad Boys universe and a worthy follow-up to 2020's Bad Boys for Life. You might remember that feature, or I should say you might remember from that feature, that Burnett and Lowry's captain Conrad Howard was killed, presumably by Armando Aritas, who turned out to be Mike's son. Well, all of these guys are back, plus most of the Ammo Squad, a few old faces, and a few new faces as well. But before I get into a deep movie discussion, please like and subscribe to the channel. Click that bell and select all so you won't miss any video or stream. And follow me on X at Mikey Lito Live for any late breaking information about the channel. And you can also check the community tab for the same. As the story opens, and you've seen the trailers, you've seen most of it, Mike and Marcus are again rushing off to an appointment, both rather well dressed for a change. But Marcus is getting sick and threatens to throw open Mike's car until he gets some ginger ale. They make a stop at a bodega, but Marcus can't resist a lot of the goodies inside, including his affection for Skittles. That's a running gag that pays off later in the film. We discover that Mike has met and decided to marry his physical therapist, and the guys were rushing to Mike's wedding, where Marcus is the best man. He's also the dead man because he collapses at the wedding and is brought back to life after a visit to the beyond. Captain Howard has been set up to take the fall for one guy trying to steal another guy's money. And since he's not around to defend himself, he sends a message from the grave to get Burnett and Lowry to clear his name. So that's the basic setup for this comic action adventure. And it was really fun. I had a good time. I don't know if it was because of the slap, but Martin Lawrence is more out front in this movie. Not that Will Smith did anything bad in the film, he was good too. However, this is a return to form for Lawrence, and he and Smith are in top form. So, as I mentioned, a lot of the group from the previous film has returned. Jacob Scipio returns as Mike's imprisoned son, Armando, who tells Mike that he knows who really killed Captain Howard. Paula Nunez returns as Mike's ex and still current boss, Rita. She's hooked up with a dude named Lockwood, who's running for mayor and is played by, let's see if I can get this, Ioan Griffith. He's Welsh. I don't know how to say the name. I got as close as I could get. Alexander Ludwig as Dorn and Vanessa Hutchins as Kelly are back as the rest of the Ammo Squad. Charles Melton as Rafe did not appear and was never mentioned. However, John Sally as Fletcher and DJ Khalid as Manny the Butcher put in appearances, and Eric Dane guest stars as a really bad man who is nameless for a good portion of the film. Tasha Smith subs in for Teresa Randall as Marcus's wife, Teresa, and Melanie Libbert joins the cast as Mike's new wife, Christine. Rhea Seehorn appears as Judy Howard, a U.S. Marshal and Captain Howard's daughter who wants Armando dead and pursues he, Burnett, and Lowry when things turn upside down. Quinn Hempel appears as Callie, Judy's daughter, and Captain Howard's granddaughter. And a nice cameo is been in by Tiffany Haddish as Tabitha, a woman Mike apparently uses for information and who knows what else. And finally, wait until you see what our boy Reggie the Marine does in this movie. If you haven't guessed by now, I love this movie. It certainly has flaws. The script is a little transparent, but the flaws are easily overlooked because the movie is so dynamic and fun. Directors Adil El Arbi and Bilal Falal did a masterful job directing this movie. Director of photography Robert Havert did outstanding work, while he probably said to his directors several times, You want me to do what?" However, Adil, Bilal, and Robrecht have worked together often, including Ms. Marvel and Bad Boys for Life. In fact, I can't imagine what this crew did badly on Batgirl for David Zaslav to trash the film. I think he just wanted the tax deduction. Here's the rating scale from Track TV that I use to rate movies. I am giving Bad Boys Ride or Die, and it'll come up soon, folks. An 8 out of 10. This movie is great. It's fantastic. That's equivalent to 4 out of 5 stars on a 5-star scale. Bad Boys Ride or Die is rated R by the Motion Picture Association for strong violence, language throughout, and some sexual references. There are no mid-credit or post-credit scenes in this film. So go out with your friends, see this movie, just have a good time. It's one of 3 films this year where I left the theater with a big smile on my face. As I always say, watch content, form opinion. You just heard mine. I'd like to hear yours. No live comments, so we're going to keep moving. We're going to keep it moving. Please comment on this video since nobody is here live. Uh, like and share this video and the other videos on the channel. And please subscribe to the channel at Mikey Lito Live right here on YouTube. These are the social media sites that I am on. Absolutely follow me on X because any late breaking details about movies and programming on the channel, it will appear there. And as I mentioned earlier, check the community tab right here on YouTube for any late breaking things that are happening. So, folks, until next week when we're going to see Inside Out. Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna quit while I'm behind. Thanks for watching. Uh, I will see you next week for Inside Out #2. And until then, this is Mikey Lito saying ciao for now.